Hello, my name is Charmaine Wilson and I want to welcome you to my blog called Spirit Matters. I'll be doing a series of grief talks, and today I'd like to talk about grief after losing a parent. When you lose a parent, it's one of the hardest griefs you'll ever have to go through, especially if it's your first grief. The thing about losing a parent is that this is the first person we fell in love with when we opened our eyes as a baby, and when they close their eyes we want to scream and cry like a little child again. It also causes us to grow up very quickly if we haven't got mum or dad to rely upon to get us out of trouble and tight spots, or to talk to when we had a bit of a down day. That is a great big loss. Like most people, most people tend to talk to their parents usually daily or every few days or once a week, and this too can become a very, very quiet time in our life as well, when we no longer have that ability just to reach out and talk to them. You will miss them very much, that is a fact. The grief you go through is like every other grief. There will be the stage of bargaining, there will be the stage of great depression, the disbelief and the shock, and you will have to work through them piece by piece. However, if after 12 months you still find that you're just not coping, you just can't get out of bed, like any other grief, I suggest you go to see someone, perhaps a grief counsellor, and just get a little bit of help to get you through. Because while it's terrible to lose a parent, it's not abnormal, and it's something that you need to adjust to, unfortunately. Sometimes when we lose our parents, we don't have that deep love with them. They may have been the parent, your parents may have been divorced, and they may have been the parents you didn't spend much time with. Maybe they never made an effort to spend much time with you, and if that's the case, then you might be feeling a bit of anger at never being able to have the relationship with that parent which you felt like you deserved to. And you may find a lot of emotions coming up right now of anger and annoyance and just feeling left out, especially if they've gone on to have another family. That can be very, very heartbreaking. So just as long as you know that if you do feel that anger towards that parent, it is absolutely normal. But once again, if it continues, you need to go and have a talk to someone. Sometimes our parents are rough and cruel on us as children. They may be abusive. When an abusive parent dies, you have to, it's weird, but you've got to go through that abuse again. And I don't know why, but it all comes up again like a bad rash. And all I do is urge you to go through that. It will soon pass. Forgive your parent if that's the case. If you can, I hope that you can. I hope it wasn't so bad that you can't. But forgive them. Now you can forgive them spirit to spirit. But if you can't forgive them, I pray that you do eventually in the long run. When one parent dies and there's one remaining parent left, you might find that your remaining parent will act in one or two ways. In one way, they may never ever get another partner again, because quite frankly, they were happy with that parent. That was their soulmate. They may never want another parent, so don't push them too hard. But do know that they will be lonely. And if you can find some time in your own schedule to fit in, and maybe give that parent a little bit more time, that would be wonderful, because they will appreciate it. But like most parents left behind, they won't want to impose. So you've got to make sure that you make the effort, okay? If there is another case too, when the remaining parent might rush straight out and get another partner, like within months, sometimes even weeks. Now that can be very devastating to you and cause a lot of mistrust. And a lot of, it's almost like they let you down. Like, how can they be so unfaithful to the memory of that parent that you love so much? And I can quite understand how that can be really horrific to the kids left behind. But what you've got to try and do is try and understand that some people just cannot be alone. That's all there is to it. Try not to judge them, and try to work through it in your own time if this happens. It is a common occurrence, unfortunately. And if you find yourself in a position where your remaining parent has now got like a much younger partner or something, you really need to hold your breath at this time and hope that it works out for the best. We will talk about this subject a little bit more down the track, because it's a subject a lot of my clients face, and I would like to address that with you. In the future, I will be talking about what happens when a parent leaves a young child behind. So I hope you join me on that blog. And I do hope that this has been some help. The best thing you can do when you lose a parent is understand that there will be a grief pattern that you will go by. Be kind to yourself, honour their memory, and know that they will be watching over you. That's apparent. In my work as a medium, parents are most keen to come through, and to this day I have had a lot of success in bringing them through, and they're one of my favourite spirits to bring through, mums and dads. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this.